All right, number one, what is something that you wish you were better at?
I wish I was better at. That's a good question. I wish I was better at delegating.
What is a pet peeve that you have about the church?
Where we become a social club and not focused on what our really great commission is, and understanding that we are a church, a part of the global church, and it may look different expressions of worship, but we're all the same team. And I know there's some nuance to that, but we're all Team Jesus. So let's act like that and treat one another with respect. I hate when other churches tear churches down. I just can't stand it. It's like, that's not what God's calling us to do.
Yeah. What TV show are you embarrassed to say that you watch?
I don't watch a ton of TV. I'll be honest with you. I don't really watch. I watch sports, and then I'll watch a few shows here. Embarrassed to say that I watch. I'm really not embarrassed by any of my TV shows.
Right.
Honestly,
guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. I'm actually getting, this is funny. I'm 37 years old. I'm an old guy. And I am just now getting into Star Wars. Just now.
You're a little late there, bro.
I am. Great Disney Plus. I can binge watch them all. Yeah. So before I go to bed at night, I'll turn one on for a few minutes, and I end up falling asleep very quickly. But I'm into that. So maybe that's my embarrassment now. I'm embarrassed.
Do you have a favorite? You're embarrassed that it took you so long.
No, I'm kind of embarrassed. I mean, Star Wars is a little nerdy, and I like it. I'm all about the nerd. I really love documentaries too. My favorite so far, honestly, I just want to tell everyone, let's just be real. A New Hope is trash. It's pure trash. I watched it and was like, I used to think the newer episodes, like the ones that happened when I was in high school and middle school, were bad. No, A New Hope was awful. I just watched it the other night. I'm working my way through the whole series of them.
Had you never seen the original trilogy?
I'd seen parts of it on TV, but I was like, I'm going to go watch The Goonies instead, or I'm going to go watch basketball or football or baseball or something else.
Yeah. All right. What is one quality that every pastor or leader should lean into more to cultivate a great team?
Ooh, that's a good one. One quality. I have to pick one. I think it would be the trust aspect of building trust with your team. And part of that, that's really nuanced, but building trust by being vulnerable and admitting when you're struggling or when you're wrong. That Speed of Trust book, was it Seth Godin, I think is who wrote that? It's so good in that lean into building trust with your team. And as you build that trust, they'll have your back because they'll know your intentions, they'll know your heart, and they'll know you. And then they'll have your back in the community as you're trying to, hey, we need to use this verbiage, or we need to talk about this way, or this is how we are moving in the direction we're moving. They trust you to move that way. They're not second guessing you all the time. But with the trust, man, I know this is longer. This isn't very rapid fire, but when they trust you, that trust there, they trust that they can give feedback and they can push back, and they trust that your heart is in the right place. That you say, I'm going to hear that. And I know I trust you to know that you're not trying to be a jerk or trying to or second guess me. So I think that trust, building lasting trust, is really important.
Last one. What is something we do in the church or in ministry that we should do less of?
Complain. I would say, I'm gonna talk about ministry people, for example, for a second. Hey, ministry people, as if you're on staff or you're a volunteer or you're staff and church pastors and people that are high capacity volunteers, we have the greatest message in all of history, and that is the hope of Jesus, the life-saving hope of Jesus. We have light and darkness. We're carrying that message, and God's entrusted us with that. And it's a huge mantle, and it can be a heavy weight, but it's also a privilege and an honor to be able to do that. And so when we get into ministry, it's easy to complain about what we don't have, or maybe about people, and realize people aren't resources. They're human beings. And so let's not complain about them. It's easy to do too, as I'm I can be a glass half empty person very regularly. So it's easy to complain about things and get stuck in that. But complaining's never gotten you anywhere. So complain less, have optimism, have faith, have hope, have joy in that we get to do this. Like I tell my team this all the time, you realize this is our job, to share Jesus with people. What brings us joy, peace, security? Like we get to share that with people. So instead of complaining about it, let's embrace the nuance and let's recognize the difficulties, because the difficulties are there, but let's not complain about it. It doesn't do anyone any good. Let's be reminded that our peace and our joy and our hope is found in Jesus, and we get to do this. And I don't mean that in a manipulative way. I mean, like, this is a privilege to do what we do. And it's an honor to serve the local church and through 1230, the global church, and different expressions of that. The Church of Jesus Christ is a beautiful thing. And it's diverse. New Testament shows us that. And it shows us how diverse and how much variety there is and how much struggle and pain there is throughout the world. And so we get to be that hope. So let's not complain about it. Let's embrace it and let's move forward. Let's continue to charge hell with a water pistol. Like, let's go, because we have the hope for humanity in Jesus. It's not us, it's Jesus. So.
Well, man, thank you so much for your time. It's an honor to call you friend and co-laborer in ministry. And man, I appreciate all that you do, not only for your church, but for 1230 and just for the kingdom, man. Really appreciate you.
I appreciate it too, man. I love that your heart for ministry extends far beyond just 1230, but I know you care about the pastors and the creatives and the people in the local church, being able to help them grow spiritually, and you care about that. So I love that that's your heart, and I appreciate you taking some time and letting me just talk about my passion in communications. If you can't tell, I really love this stuff, and so it's been an honor to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.